Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back once again. Big Willie Styles, DC1. Big A is in the building. It's Real TV, Dynasty Sports Network Weekend Sports Review, and we're going to have a fun one today. It was kind of expected but unexpected, but we're about to have a ball right now. What's going on, fellas?
What up, though?
What up, though?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, we had an interesting week. I hope everyone enjoyed their families over the Thanksgiving holiday. Of course, we're going to get into, the holiday games that we had going on today, as well as other sports topics. But I think we got to go off the top, man, with the hottest topic right now.
Hold it.
Hold on. DC, you got something you want to say, dude?
I got listen. Before we get to the topic, man, I got something I had to reveal, man. I got to reveal to the audience, which a lot of people is not going to expect it to happen, but I got something to reveal.
He about to jump ship. He about to jump ship.
Oh!
Oh!
No! Oh no! You! All my life. Are y'all seeing this right now?
Wow. I had a bunch of jokes queued up. Damn!
Oh no! DC
we gotta clip this.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have to clip this one. Listen. I need the comment section to go in on this. I know they ain't used to seeing this. DC, why? Why DC?
Listen. Before I say this, look, I'm still a Michigan State heart and soul forever, bro. But I got it. The reason why I'm doing this too, man, because I got to honor my bet, man. Because I even went to Michigan State, man. And Michigan beat them. I had to honor my bet, and I called it out and tested Big A too and Big Willie. I said that Michigan was going to beat Ohio State, and they did. So it's another reason I got to give Michigan.
And you made the announcement on the show last week, so I got to give it to you. He out of all of us, because we didn't even say that. DC pulled it out, who we all know is a Spartan guy, and said and predicted that Michigan was going to pull this one off. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Of course, this past yesterday, Michigan pulled off, I would say, one of the biggest upset in the history of the rivals by beating Ohio State 13-10 in a real grinding out defensive game yesterday. And I know it was a shock the world moment because nobody was really expecting it because of the type of season that we had and the way Ohio State was just running through teams. No diddy. It wasn't what we was expecting, but I'm glad it went the way it did. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start with you, Real, man. What was your feeling yesterday watching that game, brother?
I knew in the first half that it was gonna come down to the defense and just sure will. And the fact that Ohio State let them boys stay in the game, the writing was already on the wall. We obviously had a number. It was only a matter of time. The fact that they didn't come out and play their best ball, and we was able to stick around, hang around. Man, shout out to them boys up front too, man, on both sides of the ball. Them boys came to play, man. You could tell they had a pride about themselves. They wanted to walk in that trap and take over that trap, and that's exactly what them boys did, man. But the highlight of the game was the brawl at the end, man. Especially getting to see all the behind the scene clips of like what was really going on down there. Like that was lit, man. That's a viral moment that we'll never forget, man. So I'm glad we was able to watch that game, man. I'm glad we was able to see that for sure.
Most definitely, DC.
I'm gonna start with this, man. I gotta give Big A credit, man. I gotta give Big A a lot of credit. What he said last week on the show, and me and him talked on the phone about this too. He said it, and people don't believe me. If y'all don't remember what he said if the game starts off with Nick Mullins, it's gonna be a long day for Ohio State. But if it start off with Donovan Edwards, it's gonna be a different game. And who did they start off with? Mullins. Now I know the offense was terrible, but for the most part, but which it's been like that all majority of the season. But Nick Mullins, that turnover, that first interception, completely changed the dynamic of that game. and especially they scored, so they took the crowd out. And on top of that, not only took the crowd out, that defense held its own. And I'm saying this now before I turn it over to Big A. Wink Martindale should get the game ball hands down. That defense was unbelievable yesterday. You hold that team to 10 points. You stood your ground. I don't care if they missed 2 field goals. I don't care if they two interceptions that Will Howard threw. That defense, Michigan stood that ground yesterday. Wink Martindale deserves the game ball for he coached his ass off on that defensive side yesterday. And you gotta give Michigan props, man. They won the game fair and square. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, I'm a Sparty fan, but I'm gonna give credit to Michigan. And I said Michigan was going to beat Ohio State because they're not physical enough, and they was showed, and they got exposed. Go ahead, Big A.
Big A.
Well, and I want to say this too, man. I most definitely got to give DC credit, man, because he called it even before the game was coming up a couple weeks ago. He kept saying Ohio State was frauds, man, and how, Michigan was going to beat Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? My thing with this is we've been here for 3 years. The only reason why we lost to them is because they stole our signs. They stole our signs. That's all we kept hearing. You know what I'm saying? And then to go into this game, after the off-season, y'all kept saying, oh, we got the best backfield in the country. We got the greatest college team ever assembled. As if, that University of Miami team didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? But, to hear all of this, oh, y'all only beat us because signs and this and that. And to lose our coaching staff, to lose 23 players, to be able not to get into the portal because of all the turnover we had, not to add to the fact that when we did have the coaching staff, we lost some coaches that we had to replace last minute. We couldn't get into the portal. We roll into this season, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with everything we had to deal with. Still hearing the counter style.
You guys having some technical difficulties.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. To hear the counter stallions, they're still hearing that, right? Ohio State spent all we kept hearing all offseason. Oh man. And you just hear these guys, they was even using Samaj Morgan's celebration last year when he was calling Ryan Day out. And all over their X accounts, Twitter accounts, Instagram, they showing this, oh, this just means something. Bro, and you go out there and lose 13-10, bro. I told Willie this. I said, Ryan Day, his host, coaching staff, record label, Ohio State as a MF crew are all mental missions. You went into this game because we've been telling y'all saw. And you did exactly what we wanted you to do in this game.
Preach, Big A. Preach.
It was to try to run the ball against us. Dude, y'all had a 2-minute drive when y'all marched down the field passing the ball. And it was like, y'all said, no, we're going to keep running into Mason Graham and Kendall Grant. We're going to keep doing this. Bro, y'all lost 13-10, bro. And it's like, I don't want to hear anything else. There's nothing else you can say. Like right now, I even had my cousin, when we was going through, the record wasn't looking good. He's like, well, the moment's too big for Sharon Moore. He was hitting him with the third base this, third base that. Like that. Listen, Sharon Moore is 2-0 against Ryan Day. 2-0. 2-0. All we heard all this year. Oh, he ain't got Jim Harbaugh's squad to run off of. Jim Harbaugh ain't there. It's nothing you can say. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing you say. Oh, I want to say one more thing before I pass it to it. Michigan State media. y'all have to stop. Stop. Just riding our coattails. All before this game, y'all was all on something. Oh, Michigan finna get belt to you know what? Oh, they finna get the curse.
Except for me.
They deserve. No, I'm saying all these guys. I don't even want to name the dudes. But then when Michigan beat Ohio, they want to. Oh, Mel Tucker got more wins against Michigan than Ryan. It don't work like that. No, y'all need to beat Ohio State. You don't get to come in and celebrate our wins. No, we're 4-0. Like, you guys need to worry about beating Ohio State. This ain't at UDC, but this is all that the main Michigan State media do. Before this, oh, y'all finna get it. Now y'all finna get it. To me, what's crazy to me is they act like Ohio State is their big brother to take care of Michigan. I don't think so.
No, and I'm gonna say this before I'm passing you with Sherrone Moore is the first head coach to win as his rival, his first year as a head coach to win as a rival against Michigan State and Ohio State. And I say this, piggyback what you're saying, Big A. My team has not beat Ohio State since 2015, and that year with Ezekiel Elliott, Urban Meyer, we have not beat them almost a decade. I agree. I like I said, I said what I said. I'm gonna still ride with my team, but the facts are the facts. We haven't beat them since 2015. Y'all 4-0. Y'all 4-0 against those Ohio State fuck guys. Plain and simple. Take it over, Big Willie.
Is it my turn yet?
Take it over.
Can I go off now?
Oh, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
So yesterday, it wasn't supposed to happen, but it did, and I'm glad that it did happen because it allowed me another opportunity to go off once again. Like last season, I went off because I said, "What now? What excuses did they have now?" We didn't have our coach, we didn't have Connor Staggs at the end of the season, and we still won. But they still ran with that excuse throughout the season. But this year, they went ahead and adapted some of our traits by bringing back a lot of senior leadership. They went out there in the transfer portal, spent that money to get that roster together, and by all means, they did that. This year for us, of course, we got to admit, it was a down season. I said in the beginning of the season when we was having trouble playing the teams that we played and we were losing the games, I said this is going to have to be a bye year. The quarterback situation was very dire. Even in that game, I still say Davis Warner owes me a fade. I'm not going to let him off of that because the brother still was terrible at the quarterback position, throwing the ball and being scary and throwing off the back foot and throwing interceptions and not making completed plays. Was still terrible. Offensive wise, was so predictable yesterday. It was literally run, pass. Run, pass. Run, pass. Michigan get the ball. Run, pass.
Run, pass.
That was the whole game yesterday. This season itself was it was dismal because like we didn't realize the effect of how much we lost, not only in the players, but in the coaching staff itself. It has an effect. So I was willing to admit defeat was coming yesterday. Listen, I'm a realist. Like, we didn't really supposed to have a chance. We was always saying if we were able to at least hold it close and try to steal it, there is the chance. But it was a bleak chance. All social media, all over the other media platforms did not give us a chance, which I understand. I'm not going to argue against it and say that I didn't feel like we had a chance. I just wanted it to be a close game. I was on the lines of having that moral victory yesterday until yesterday happened. Until I seen what they did on that other side of the field yesterday, and it made me so happy because what they're doing on that other side of the field is something I've been saying for the past 4 years that we've been winning this game. It ain't because of Connor Stallions and the whole, Spygate, the Signgate scandal. It's not because of Jim Harbaugh and his mantra. It's not because of Ohio State and all the 5-star recruits they have year after year after year, and them going into the portal and getting all these razzle-dazzle players that they got. The main thing that Ohio State has not adopted and has not made an effort to change, which will win them these games, is the trenches. Last 4 years, they have been losing in the trenches on both sides of the ball. If you look at these games, both sides of the ball, defensive-wise, Ohio State has not done nothing against our offensive line in the 4 years. Jack Sawyer finally did something yesterday. It was basically at the end of the game, which he got the interception. Other than that, he's done nothing these 4 years. Offensive side of the ball, they went and got all these weapons, but they didn't address up front. And once again, we dominated up front. And they tried to show their toughness up front by trying to keep run up against our stout front four defense, and it failed. And yesterday, Joel Klatt, if you was listening to him in the press box, he kept saying, listen, their biggest asset is their weapons outside. Throw the ball to your weapons. But no, Chip Kelly with a chip on his shoulder, thinking that, listen, it's my offense or no offense. Ryan Day wanted to show that he's not soft. Went away from what worked. The only time they scored the touchdown was in the last 2 minutes of the first half when they threw the ball. And they came out in the second half and decided to do exactly what Michigan did. Run, pass. Run, pass. Run, pass. It boggled my mind watching that game yesterday. And to see it transpire, you literally witness how much of Michigan is in Ryan Day's head and in that program. Trust me, we know it. We lived through that. Listen, I could go back, to the 8-game stretch where we didn't beat Ohio State. And even before that, it was like another 7-game stretch where we didn't beat Ohio State. When we had to wonder, are we going to be able to beat this team? This was the worst team in the past 10 to 15 years that Michigan had offensively. Ain't no way possible we were supposed to come out with that victory, but we did, and I'm glad for it. Now, I want to address something else, too. My home guy, Gus Johnson. Come on, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you was doing a little too much meat riding, no Diddy yesterday on Ohio State, trying to hype them up, and you've been doing that the last couple of years when we've been playing this game. And I get it, because you don't want to show that you're biased, because we know you're a homer, you're from the city and all. But come on, yesterday, the excitement that you had for that team, how much you was trying to big them up, and even after the game to proclaim that Michigan was classless because of them planting the flag. Like, we the first team that plants the flag. We could go all the way back to Baker Mayfield, 8 or 9 years ago when he planted the flag at Ohio State. This ain't the first time teams have planted the flag. But then you want to say that we're classes because we planted the flag on a rivalry?
Hey, Willie.
What's up?
How about you don't even have to go that far? You can go to the second week, the game that Gus Johnson called when Texas planted the flag in Michigan.
Was there a fight broke out there?
Right.
Was that classless?
Right. Oregon planted the flag at Michigan, Gus Johnson.
Did we fight then?
Right.
No, listen, if you don't want people planting flags or celebrating on your field, what do?
Win the game.
You win the game. That's it. Now, yeah, of course, it's a little bit of classes to it. But if you don't want nobody celebrating, it's not like Ohio State over that 8-game winning streak. Then Jim Tressel had the band playing on our field, and he's in the middle of doing this on our field. They didn't get up and go to the locker room and be the bigger man and just celebrate no. That happens when you are in a rivalry. It's got to be a little bit of disrespect going on. Now, I will say this now. After that game, you see the other rivals, they tried to copy it, and there was a lot of scuffling going on too. So I believe the NCAA is going to crack down on that. But either way, them them guys showed more fight of trying to stop us from planting the flag than they did the 4 quarters that we played.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I went to the social medias and see what the excuse is going to be. I was calling on all my Ohio State fans. Listen, I need to hear it. What is it? Because for the past 3 years, y'all were saying this. Y'all were the better team. Y'all had the better recruits. Y'all had the better coaching. Y'all had better everything. It was excuse after excuse like, oh, no, y'all had signs that allowed y'all to beat us. In the 1 year in which they were so confident, they were so boastful because they knew we were bad. We were bad.
I want to show something real quick, Willie. So y'all probably can't see my phone, but right there you see that's when Jack Sawyer, in the midst of everything, was going crazy, right? So it reads, Ryan Day, the head coach, just stands there and does nothing. As a senior captain, Jack Sawyer is devastating, crying out. They're not effing planting a flag on our effing field. When coaches must lead, Ryan Day freezes in the midst of chaos, bro. That man was there, stood there.
Yeah.
He could not believe it, bro.
Yeah.
He could not believe it.
And what type of leader, head coach are you? You're not a leader. You're not a head coach. You not say, get these players, let's go in the locker room. We lost the game. We got out-coached. We got outplayed. You stood there. That means you didn't take up for your players. That means you did not give a damn about your players. You just stood there and just let the melee happen. Your players was classless. They was very disrespectful because y'all showed that fight at the end of the game, but then they wouldn't show the fight at those 4 quarters. That, to me, I don't feel sorry for them suck eyes at all. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for Ryan Day. You a leader. You the leader of the program. You need to get these players under control. You should have got them under control in them 4 quarters on that field. And you ain't even do that. You let stand there like that. That's unacceptable. And that's when Ohio State suckers deserve what they get.
Well, their AD just released a statement saying that Ryan Day is their coach. He got the full support. Thank you, Jesus. God is good. Keep Ryan Day there, please. Keep him there.
Yeah, I almost feel like Coach didn't do nothing because the players was acting out how he really felt. Like, I feel like he was in such a shock that he was with the shits. Like, that's why he didn't stop him. When coaches show a level of professionalism and true class and leadership, you go out on that field and you get your guys and you demand they get off the field. Let's go into the locker room. Let's take it like men. Let's talk about it. Let's figure this thing out. But for him to be sitting there in a total shock, like he just couldn't believe it. But his natural instinct as a leader and as a father figure, if you don't watch your son just scrap and you stand there, you either pulling your son off of somebody or you pulling somebody off your son. It's that simple. You don't stand there though. That's not what you do. But the ones that do stand there is the ones that wasn't raised right, and in those shoes they would have did the same thing. That's why he was the least.
It goes back to and I know it might sound cliche, but it goes back to Harbaugh's third base comment, bro. You didn't work to get there. You was handed something. You didn't have to go through no trials or tribulations or anything like that. The handover that you got was perfect. Urban Meyer still helped you recruit on the way out the door. But this is another thing, dude. One of his players just came out, one of their former 5-star that was over there. And he said, when Ohio State lost against Alabama, he said, Ryan Day didn't say nothing to the team. Right away, he went to blaming the coaches. And my thing about it, bro, you don't switched over your coaching staff. You done did that. You got a new AD. You done did all of that, dude. At some point, you got to look in the mirror. And I knew this man, I knew this pressure was getting to him when that man said in his interview, losing to Michigan was the worst thing ever. But he had to backpedal because a lot of people understand Ryan Day lost his father from a suicide. His daddy killed himself. So he had to backpedal. But he spoke his first mind. Then he said, well, other than losing my father. I'm like, dude, you can't handle this pressure, dog. You can't handle this pressure, bro.
And it's showing now. And now those Ohio State fans are getting the glimpse, are getting the feels that we had when we had to suffer through what Ohio State did to us over the past decade or two. We went through this. We know what this feeling is. So I get it. I get it. But I'm glad they're going through it, man, because they need to feel they need to feel our pain, man. And you know, I have down them because they call us the team up north. I'm changing that to, you know, that TTUN to the team underneath, because that's what they are right now. They're the team underneath us, because we, you know, we're putting our foots on their neck. So it's no longer the team up north. No, it's the team underneath, and that's what we're gonna call them as until otherwise, you know, said so. It's official now, like a referee will whistle. You understand me? Understand me?
It's just to me, just to go into that game as arrogant as they was, man. You know, oh, look at they recruiting. They can't get anybody. They can't do this. They can't do that. And like I told Willie, man, as much as I hated the way this season went, we needed this, man, because if this season was successful, I'm going to tell you now, if this season was successful, we not playing the NIL game like how we planned it enough to get a Bryce Underwood and to go get all these big dogs at the table now. Big dog at the table. Oh, this what we doing? Oh, okay. Let me call one of my donors. One.
Exactly. So
that happened to be the fourth wealthiest man in the world, Fred.
In the world. So what we saying is what's next for Michigan? With this type of victory, where do we go from here?
I'm gonna start off with this. Where they go from here, it's gonna build. It's gonna bring them more confidence going into next season. You got Bryce Underwood, you know, over there, and now you're gonna start. Now you getting, you know, guys that flip to commit to Michigan. It's Sherrone Moore. You got to give him his props, man. It was not a great season for his first year, but to go out there to end the season, beating the arch rival, and then going to a bowl game and win that whoever they play in their bowl game, and going to next season, it's going to be. I would not be surprised, much as I hate to say this because I'm a Sparty. I would not be surprised that Michigan and them in Oregon would be the favorites to win the Big Ten next year. I won't be surprised. Ohio State should not be favored next year going forward. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. Yeah, I won't be surprised Michigan and Oregon, them two teams, be favored to win the Big Ten next year. I think Sherrone Moore is going to have a lot of support with this team, and the coaching staff. I believe it. I believe that Michigan's going to be favored. It hurts me to say this because I'm a Sparty, but I got to be real. I got to be honest.
Well, you know, I'll say this, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, to end your season off like this, man, I mean, it just does great. I mean, as you see today, man, we put the recruit, bro. You know, we had recruits at this game. Ohio State had recruits at this game. And I want to say this, man, and this is huge. That 2021 class is walking out of Michigan undefeated. Against Ohio State. Seniors 4-0. Juniors 3-0. Sophomores 2-0. Freshmen 1-0. Like, I mean, like I say, we was playing with house money, man. All the pressure was on Ohio State, bro, and they folded like a bad lawn chair, bro.
Don't that feel great? We get a whole another year to celebrate that, because it wasn't supposed to happen, and that's what's so sweet about this.
Check this out,
kiss, man.
We haven't lost to Ohio State 1,828 days. Not that I've been counting. We haven't lost to a rival 1,128 days. Not that I've been counting.
Well, even in the bad season that we had, it's still great to be a Michigan Wolverine. It's so good. I mean, we get a whole nother year to celebrate it. Now, DC, on the other side of the mitten, of course, he switched back to his true green and white. Yeah, go ahead and let you get your. I know you got a rant that you want to go off on, man. With your image. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, man. Go ahead. Listen, I'm not even gonna even limit you to 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and take it off, man. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, it's disappointing season, yes, obviously. Guys, it's just, and I give credit to Big A, man, because he was right about this, and I didn't listen to him in the beginning of the season, man. Aiden Childs, I mean, he got some promise, man, but he got a lot of growing to do. Jonathan Smith is a slow recruiter. He's take things slow. He's gonna have to speed it up quick, because the way how this Big Ten is, man, is either you don't speed it up, man. You might not be the head coach of this football team, man, because this is unacceptable, man. This is unacceptable. 5-7, no bowl game again. We had a disaster season last year with the whole dealing with the Tucker situation, the interim coach, losing players, the players decommit, and all these things. We come into the season with hopes and expectations to at least get to a bowl game, contend for the Big Ten, and it's just a failed season. It's really a failed season. I'm not liking it. This is unacceptable. Got blown out, had opportunity to win games, had opportunity to beat Boston College, had opportunity to beat teams, that we had opportunities to win, and we lost. And what really makes me mad when we played against Purdue last week and we barely won that game, a team that's worse in the Big Ten, and we barely won that game. And then to turn around the last game of the regular season, and our fans not going to show because the way how we playing, we've been losing. And you expect the performance you're going to get, and then we get blown out by Rutgers? And Rutgers lost a lot of players on the end due to injuries and all that. And we had the opportunity to beat Rutgers, to be bowl eligible. And you mean to tell me we get embarrassed at home and don't get to a bowl game? I mean, it's so sad as a Spartan football team. You can't get to a bowl game. I mean, it's just unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. It's a failure season. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of work to do for this offseason coming up for Michigan State. It's going to be a lot of work because this is unacceptable. Yeah, this is really unacceptable, and I'm disappointed at this football team. I'm really disappointed. So,
and you know what, DC, you should be.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's gonna roll over into basketball season too now.
Hey, watch your mouth now. No, it ain't.
Listen,
no, it ain't.
I'm gonna tell you like this, right? And the one thing that Michigan State didn't look at when they hired Jonathan Smith, right? He has no ties to the Midwest. No ties. Like, he ain't plugged in nowhere. And then his whole staff, same thing, right? He didn't really lock in and say, well, let me make sure I get some guys that's from the Midwest to make sure that I can blend them in with this coaching staff. Because college, it ain't just about you coaching, man. You got to be able to recruit, man. You got to have these connections, dude. And like I say, they are already talking rumors of people hollering at Marsh already. Like,
oh, the transfer portal about to be crazy.
It's about to be crazy. You already see it today.
Mm-hmm.
He is already entering the portal now.
Yeah,
it's going to be crazy.
And Nick Marsh said it.
Yeah, I told Willie this. I say, say those Sparty boys, y'all gonna commit suicide. March hop on over here to Ann Arbor.
They're gonna follow him.
Yeah,
Uh,
most definitely. Most definitely.
Because it's like I said, man. It should never came down like this, man. It really should not came down like this. And like I said, this it's like I was telling Big A yesterday, man. It just, especially with Michigan State, just didn't play with no sense of urgency, man. They didn't play like they want to be there, man.
but DC, this is the thing. Your team reflects the coach. Did you see him? It has not been no emotion coming from Jonathan Smith. And I don't never like to repeat anything that comes from Delaney, but he deemed Jonathan Smith the Monty Williams of college football, bro.
Yeah, and you know what? Now you said it because I was watching Locked On Spartans earlier. He said the same thing, what you just said. And it got me thinking. What you just said, it got me thinking. Did Jonathan Smith really care? Do you really care? Exactly.
I don't think he understands the significance of what it is to be in the Big Ten and what these rivalries and these games are. Because, like you said, he had no ties to what goes on over here. And like you said, Big A, not grasping some of the people that's been around this side of everything here, how significant that this needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna learn from this, or is it gonna be another one that's had to go by the wayside? But either way, go ahead, Big A.
I mean, you look at it after the Michigan State game, and I think he just really said that to kind of help appease the people. He go, well, yeah, now I know what this is about. Like, you've been new with Michigan State. Well, before the game, you'll talk about, oh, I've been in these type of games. I'll come from Oregon State where we have to play Oregon, or whatever the case is. But and this was the one thing I was telling DC when they first hired him. I said, are y'all gonna be patient with this guy? Because everybody talk about the success he had at Oregon State. That took a long time, dude. Yeah. Like, that took a long time, and it took for USC to be down bad, Oregon to be down bad. This is a different landscape now.
Yeah,
especially with them guys coming over here to the Big Ten to add on to what we already had over here. So
we already had.
So it's going to be interesting to see, what he does going forward. But we're not going to dapper on our parade though. This is Victory Sunday, man. You know what I'm saying? This is Michigan over here. We did what was the impossible. So we gonna rock with that. And then we DC gonna put up the scores, man.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. I gotta go ahead and share the screen right quick. Pull up them scores. There we go. Can y'all see them?
Coming up.
Can y'all see the scores? There we go. All righty. So we got Memphis beat Tulane 34-24. Tulane their first loss in their conference. Let's see, for Friday's game. Oh, man.
Was a thriller. Georgia Tech.
Man, that was
eight overtime.
And 8 overtime. And man, me and Big A was talking about this game. We was like, man, Georgia Tech up by what, 12 or 13, 14 points, and late in the fourth quarter. It was like, man, we was like, oh yeah, Georgia finna lose this game. They turn around and look. I'm like, wait a minute, how did overtime?
Way Georgia just keeps on finding a way to get back into games, man.
And Georgia Tech still had an opportunity to win the game. They had multiple times to win the game, leading with those all those overtimes. But you got to get Kirby Smart, man, credit, man. That was a hell of a game, though. Boise State take care of business against Oregon State. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, another rivalry game. Ole Miss take care of business against Mississippi State. Colorado won 52-0 against Oklahoma State. Travis Hunter, he's still trying to make a case for Heisman Trophy, be a Heisman Trophy winner. So he's still making a case for that. Him and Ashton Jeanty of Boise State. So Saturday's game, which Oregon take care of business against Washington. And we already know, y'all, the Michigan Wolverines take care of them suck ass. The team, whatever
The,
y'all
the
gonna
team
call
the team underneath.
underneath.
That's-
Yeah,
there's
the
no
sucker,
team up
the
north.
sucker.
No, they are the team underneath. I want y'all to trade. I'm gonna trademark. I need to trademark that before somebody try to, jack. That's me right there. Y'all heard it here first. The team underneath. Remember that.
Yeah, I'm calling him the suck eye. So, yeah, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news: Texas Tech 5-star true freshman that they got last year hitting the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was they started their class.
Yeah. All right. So Texas take care of business. A very close game. Texas A&M had the opportunity to beat Texas to get to the SEC championship game. Texas didn't prevail, even though Texas did not play the hell of a game. They did not play a great game, but Texas pulled it out. They will play Georgia in the SEC championship game next week. Overrated Penn State take care of business against Maryland. They will play Oregon.
Can we pause there?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Willie, me and DC was already talking about this. Another opportunity for big game James. What he gonna do, Willie?
He gonna blow it. Yep. Listen. And the fact of the matter is he's gonna blow it and they're still gonna go to the playoffs. Is remarkable.
And then blow that too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
No diddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's still gonna have a job. Mm-hmm. Yep. So Penn State will play Oregon next week for the Big Ten championship game. Notre Dame take care of business against their rival USC. This one, Syracuse, Miami chances of making the playoffs may be very, very slim. This game
they still gonna get there. They still gonna get in, but man, they ain't gonna be in the control seat like they want to be.
Nope, they won't. That was a huge, and Syracuse was down 21 in that game, and they came all the way back.
Shout out to Kyle McCord.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know. Hey, that boy threw for over 300 yards with 3 TDs.
Man.
Tennessee beats their rival Vanderbilt 36-23. SMU beats Cal 38-6. SMU will be playing in the championship game next week. Indiana.
That's crazy. Don't that sound crazy?
SMU, yeah. Indiana take care of Purdue. And Purdue just fired a coach yesterday, which it was expected. Yep. South Carolina wins that rivalry. They're trying to make a case for them to get in the playoff, and I believe they have a shot because you beat your rival Clemson. They have a shot. Alabama beat their rivals, the Iron Bowl, 28-14. Arizona State. I got to give Big A credit on this. He said something about this Arizona State team, and I had to look at this. Arizona State, they are for real. They are legit. I know they play Arizona. Arizona is no good, but Arizona State are legit. I got to give Big A credit on it because he kept saying something about Arizona State. They got a hell of a team.
Hey, look, and they're talking all that stuff about Tucker and his recruiting class. That's his quarterback over there at Arizona State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's his quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Iowa State beats Kansas State. It was a good game. BYU take care of Houston. Missouri take care of Arkansas. And UNLV take care of Nevada. And Illinois beats Northwestern. Those are your top 25 scorers of the week. And make sure be on the lookout for the college football playoff rankings this Tuesday before the championship game starts on next week.
Friday. It starts Friday with the championships games. So we definitely go look forward to that because then we'll get after the championship games, we get to see exactly what the line was going to be for the first, playoffs for the NCAA. But I think we did enough talking about the NCAA and, of course, the Wolverines' victory and the Spartans' failure. But we also got to, of course, we got to get into, the meat of the matter. Of course, the Turkey Day game with the Lions and the Bears, which turned out to be a bit of a thriller that we didn't expect to happen, but it did, and we still was able to pull it off. So we're going to get into that on the other side of our commercial break so we can discuss it, fellas.
Wow, black-owned shoe store. Culture. My culture, though. Let me see what they talking about in here. What's up, little dog? You good? Y'all got something here for me? I'm talking about exclusive. They got all the dunks? How many dunks they got? Something like these. Y'all got a little vibe in here. They buying shoes, selling shoes. It feels like the culture. They dunking on people. Oh, they doing TikTok. They looking out for the kids. Oh, man, this is great, man. Oh, they got all different races working here. It just really feels like culture. You looking for a black-owned shoe store to get some real drip at? Come up here to Culture Detroit, man. That's what the streets been missing. Welcome home, fam.
Yes, sir. That is our official sponsor, Culture Detroit. Real, go ahead, take over, man.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, vultures and culture gang alike. Culture Detroit, man, where fashion, film, art, music, and sports live under one roof. The one place centrally located to get all your designer, all your retros, all your drip, all that stuff you can't find that you got to go on the internet and get, you can pull up and get it today. Not only can you come to a centrally located location like our one on the Avenue of Fashion, 19327 Livernois, but we have officially opened our second location downtown in Capitol Park, 1228 Griswold Street, right across the street from Prime and Proper Exhibition, the Albert, the Stott, all that good fun stuff, man. And we just recently dropped our first official merch of the season. That right there is the snapback right there. You see the Detroit Lion with the buff song jumping through the D, because we run through the D because it's our jungle, man. 313 joint Lion got the buff song. Hold on, let me let y'all see the back. Yes, sir. With the stick song. We just dropped these on Thursday to celebrate another Lions victory and successful season. And speaking of, to segue to the Lions, we held an exclusive watch party down there at our downtown location where we was able to take in the Thanksgiving game and watch our beloved Lions. You know, we had some we had fried bear. Some people had fried bear. Some people had roasted bear. You know, I even heard people was deep frying their bear, man. You know, it was going crazy, man. Watch party. Let's get into the game, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely have fun at the watch party. We had a few special guests that come through there, too, as well. So, shout out to them, man.
Who you got somebody queued up, man? We had a bunch of guys come through. I wasn't
able to pull it up, but, you know, it was somebody's brother that came through there, you know, that we was able to bless, you know, from coming in there. Cunningham, brother Cade Cunningham came through and got blessed.
Somebody that the entire city of Detroit should be very thankful for, because Cannon was Cade's very first coach. So I guess you could say he started all this Detroit playerism that's recently been going on. So shout out Cannon that came through. He came and got him a hoodie. You know, we blessed the boy, man. He wanted to support us, man, and we appreciated the love. We appreciate what he's done for the city of Detroit. And we had to bless him, man, amongst a bunch of other special guests, man. It was lit, man. Drinks, food, everything was slapping, good people. And a Lions dub, man, which we couldn't ask for much more, man, on the Thanksgiving Thursday, man. So shout out to Cannon, shout out to everybody that came out and supported. Shout out the whole DSN family was there. Leo Moore fam, we had some fashion designers in there. We had some heavy hitters in there. It was a dope time, man. So look out for future events. But yeah, man, that game, man, was a hell of a game, man.
Yes, sir. The Lions survived against the Bears, and emphasis on survived. You know, the game had that feeling, you know, of course, early on, we jumped out to early 16-0 lead. It looked like it was going the way that we thought it was going to go, but then things started to happen. Injuries started to mount up. Drives was getting stalled, and we allowed the Bears to get back into this game. And thankfully, shout out to the MVP of this game, Coach Erebus over there in Chicago, for not being there. He is the Ryan Day
Well, no,
of
no,
the
hold on.
NFL.
He's not in Chicago no more.
Huh?
No, he not. No,
in
he's
Chicago no
not
more.
going no more.
Well, former, yeah, because they got him up out of there swiftly after that game, man. So we're gonna get into the discussion now. What was y'all feeling on that? We was.
Go ahead, Big A. You itching for say so. Go ahead.
Brad Johnson is the definition of trying to do too much, bro.
Ben Johnson, yeah.
Like, when you have the floor, like, I don't know if he hasn't figured this out. Our running game is our strength. That's a fact. Our running game is our strength. And when that running game is rolling, no team has stopped us, has stopped our running game. The only person that stopped our running game is Brad Johnson.
It's Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Brad. Ben Johnson. He's the only one, dude. And then my thing about it is when we get in trouble, then we want to run back to the run game. Like, when we have our foot on people's neck, we take it off, and then we want to get cute with the ball, bro. And then, like, the whole thing of that Chicago game, I was like, we can't keep settling for field goals, bro.
No.
Like, the run game get us down there, then we want to get all cute with these passes and all of that. And then when it's you just want, and then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, Gibbs and Montgomery just work some magic for me. Get me back up close to where I can pass it again. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he gotta stop that, dude. Like, I don't understand it when them boys is all like, we got the best backfield in the league, bro. Nobody has a 1-2 punch like us. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, Ben Johnson has been the only one to stop it. And that's why the Bears was able to stay in this game.
Yeah, let me jump in there, Daryl. I think Ben Johnson is almost too good of an architect of plays, but I think he needs to lean a little more into understanding game flow and understanding, how. Like, you got to be able to. It's almost like he's too good. Like the plays on the sheet is just so good that he just gotta get them out. But he has to understand, man. When you got to understand, I'm looking for the word, man. It's like reading the room. Like you got to understand the flow of the game. You got to understand when to be Ben Johnson and when to be smart and be a game manager. And he almost, like you said, he gets in trouble and then he wants to lean on his backs. The same thing happened in the Minnesota game where we got ourselves in trouble. We get behind us. So, okay, now it's like call all the Jahmyr Gibbs plays that you can call, all the zone read, all the outside zone, inside zone. Anytime you just getting the ball, let's just getting the ball. It's almost like 2K, man. Anybody who ever played 2K, and I ain't played 2K in a long time. But one thing about 2K is it's all about momentum. You can be up 20 1 second, you can be down 20 the next. But what you got to understand when you're playing 2K is, right, you got some people that like to come down and just jack from anywhere. They think they Steph Curry. 2K don't work like that. What you got to do is you got to get to the bucket, get you a layup, get you a stop, get to the bucket, get you another layup, get you a stop, turn over, get to the bucket, get you a layup. Because after you hit a couple of them in a row, now you're damn near on fire. Now you can shoot from half court. You can do that. You got to be able, if we going to understand that the strength of our offense is our backfield, then pound that shit until they bring everybody down into the box, and then you can get cute. Then you can play and mess around. But you get too cute, and then a mistake here, a drop pass there, a false start there. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you're behind the sticks, and you're in trouble, and you done allowed the team to get back in the game. You done gave them momentum, and that's exactly what happened. We allowed them to get back in the game by not keeping our foot on their neck. Ben Johnson got to focus more on game flow and game management and less on trying to be cute and trying to showcase these plays. I feel like he gets in like audition mode where it's like He's showing the league what he can do. I can do this, and I bet you never seen this before. I bet you never seen that before. And it's a time and a place for that, Ben. And it's called, halfway through the third quarter when you done already took the wheel of your opponent. But you can't be doing that trying to get all cute, especially to start the game. How many games have we started 3-0? How many games have we started where the offense stalled out, under 5 to 6 plays into the ball game? Like, we can't do that, especially when we get the ball first. You know what I'm saying? You really can't do that. You got to be for sure, for certain, because if you're going to get the ball back, if you're going to get the ball first, you got to get on the board. And we not talking field goals. We talking about 7s. Okay? But at the same time, it's almost a little bit of an embarrassment of riches to where he can do that, and then we still be able to win these ball games. So, he just got to tighten up on that, bro.
Right, understandable. And for me, it's more of I gotta give credit where credit's due. Chicago defensively, they were stout. In the beginning, not allowing us to get.
I disagree with that, but go ahead.
I disagree too, bro.
I disagree with that.
Well, I'm saying in the beginning where we we wasn't able to get in the end zone. There was some plays that could have been made. I agree with you guys what you guys were saying in regards to the play calling situations, especially on short notice. Coming in on a Thursday night, you really just trying to survive and get through the week, and trying to throw those trinkets out there at this point where we just need to survive and get through this game, which that has its ripple effect when we got to play more, do more, which caused a lot of injuries to happen Thursday, knowing that this is what the guys have been complaining about, why they hate playing on Thursday games, because you're practically, going off of fumes anyway. Your body has not had enough time to rest. You play Sunday, you might have your day off Monday, but you're back practicing Tuesday and Wednesday and then playing Thursday. So you really hasn't had time to recover. So when you have the opportunity to get the lead, build the lead, and do so, hey, listen, let's pound this thing on out, no Diddy, and run this clock and get out of here healthy. And what ended up happening is we end up getting ourselves into a real ball game. And that caused, to me, that was what caused the injuries to start happening on our defense, where the bodies start to drop. And so this is a lesson. And if Ben Johnson, which everyone is proclaiming he's going to be the top coaching hire going into the offseason, I hope he take this lesson and learn from this lesson and say, listen, hey, you got to be a game manager in regards to what it is that you're coming from. You coming off, you play Sunday, you're playing Thursday, you're just trying to escape with the victory. You don't need no trickery. You don't need nothing special. If we're able, like you said, if we're able to get 5 or 6 yards of pop and get a big play off of play action, then do that. The trickeries for next week when we got time to rest and time to recuperate. This was one of the ones, especially the fact that we haven't won on Thanksgiving in the past, and I think that's what it was. I think it was the pressure, the fact that we haven't won on Thanksgiving in the past 8
years. Yeah,
they wanted to show themselves and prove themselves. Listen, we got this, but you get that mentality, that mental. You gotta be able to lock in, man.
Yeah,
no, you're right. Real quick there. I'm sorry, just to piggyback off that real quick, and I think that's why we didn't see much of Dan Gamble. We saw a lot of field goals in situations where we normally would have went for it. Right. Dan Campbell was like, "Hey, it's Thanksgiving. Let's get these 3s." But go ahead, Daryl. My bad.
Yeah, but no, you good. But like I said, everything y'all saying is everything was spot on what y'all saying. But the only thing I disagree with Willie on, Chicago defense did not really do much. We really stopped ourselves on some plays. We could have blown this thing open early. Rest our starters, and we had a whole week because we played Green Bay after that, on another Thursday game. So, but Ben Johnson has to stop being too damn cute with the play calling. We play to our strength. Run the football. We had the best running back duo in the NFL. Run the football. Sonic and Knuckles. Run the football. The Bears could not stop our run at all. They couldn't stop the run. Whether if it was Monty or whether it was Gibbs, they could not stop the run. Why would you start going these bunch of pass and play calling and getting the Bears opportunity to be in this game? I just thank God that the first half that the Chicago Bears only had maybe had one first down, maybe 2 first downs. It had a total of 50 yards. This was supposed to be, we up 16. We were supposed to have been up at least 21 to 24 to nothing, not 16 to nothing. Like, come on, man. We can't keep settling for field goals and get a lot of teams to get back in this game. And we only scored 1 touchdown in the second half, and then getting Chicago in this game because our stupid, Ben Johnson want to be too cute with the play call and stuff. You cannot. You gotta. I know, understand it's a division game, but you gotta take care of business with an inferior team in our division. Take care of them, get them out the way, because we have a bigger game coming up against Green Bay, which they're going to try to get revenge on us because we whooped their ass in Green Bay. So you take his against an inferior Chicago team, and they should not hang around. We just thank God that the Chicago Bears are the Care Bears for a reason, that they gave up. They did not call the timeout, and that was on the head coach, and we got that win. So now
that was crazy. That I mean, everyone sitting there watching that was wondering, like, what is going on?
Exactly.
That was crazy.
Hey, and then you got Mr. Prima Donna up there talking about, I chose to play at the line. Yeah, you shouldn't have been doing that at that time, buddy.
No.
I'm not sure you're supposed to admit that either.
No,
you should let Eberflus be the scapegoat and keep that to yourself.
He thought he saw something back there. He tried to win it all. He tried to play hero ball. That's what that sounded like to me.
Goofy. We was laughing at the screen. We laughing at the screen as we watching him dance in the pocket, and then we watching this deep ball over the middle of the field. I'm like, you don't got time for that. You don't got time for that. You don't got time. You fucking dumbass. You didn't have time for that. What are you doing? You got to get you a quick out route or use the timeout and feel it. Now that's the one thing that I would say. They could have used that timeout and said, hey, let's run a little 5-yard out. Let's get out of bounds. Let's preserve time and get in field goal range. Or even if you do get something in the middle of the field, you're not able to go out of bounds. Throw something short to where you can get your line. We can go to emergency. Hurry up, get the guys out there, or get up there and spike the ball, whatever you had to do. But I think Caleb lacked awareness. He lacked experience in that moment. That's you can sum that up into a rookie mistake. But that's what coaches are for, man. To save the rookie from themselves. You're supposed to save that rookie from himself. I get him being ballsy and want to be legendary moments. It's Thanksgiving. The whole. You gonna make a play. I get a play. For the coach has you by the rain. It's ain't the time for that. I get time. Appreciate it. But wait the time right now. We're gonna be strategic. Yeah, we're gonna be strategic right now. Go ahead, bro.
At first, I thought you was doing that on purpose, like legendary.
That was about the screw going on for a second.
I
that's
agree,
from the coach's stuff.
I agree, dude. Like, and I want to say that too, man. Like, because of, like you say, Willie, the one thing you did pick up on is Ben Johnson doing all this stuff, and you having these 3 announcements, and you putting this defense. Defense is playing too much ball, man. You're playing too much ball, bro. You gotta let them guys sit over there and rest, man. And that's where that run game come in. And Willie, we was talking about that. What you said with Jim Harbaugh said, I don't care how they look.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna win this game. I know what my strength is. And like even in the Michigan Ohio State game, like even when we chose that field and he threw that pick, what was the one thing I said, Willie? They took 9 minutes off the clock. Good luck dealing with this defense. They got to sit down for 9 minutes. And what happened? Turnover. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Our defense, I mean, dude, at some point, Ben Johnson, like, stop trying to be cute, bro. And sometimes you got to play that. Give that defense a rest, bro.
Yeah, you got to. Because we got guys like Levi and Pascal. Yeah, I heard you seen Zadarius Smith went out a couple of
Rodrigo,
times.
he done for the season.
Rodrigo done for the season. We just picked up Jamal Adams off the he's on the practice squad. We just picked up because our secondary, man.
Quan Alexander got picked up. We got the defensive lineman for the run. So that's the thing we want to get into because, like I said, we got another Thursday night game coming up next week against the Packers. You know, it's a home game. Still, it's a conference game, but it's a game at home. I'm feeling what Brad Holmes is doing by going and getting these veteran guys because the guys that he's getting, they have the time and the knowledge that we need to come in and fill it because the guys that are filling for they're backup guys. These wasn't primarily starters. These are backup guys, and these guys come in and fill these positions. And once they get in and get the practice going. So I don't think that we're too far off as far as like defensive goes. I know we lost a lot of guys defensively, but our offense is still fully intact for the most part, which is the better part I would say from this team. But the guys that he's picking in for the defense to come in and fill in, I think they go do a good enough job to hold it together because we still got a lot of the main core pieces is still there on the defensive at the back end with our safeties, the front four with Lee McNeil and Reeder, Darius Smith. He came on in that game, so we still got a lot to go on. But like I said, this still a division game, which every game is critical now because these guys are not losing. Minnesota, Green Bay, they still winning. They right on our heels. So it's not a game that we could just let slide. We lose this game, we lose, first place in this division. So we got to keep.
Not necessarily want to lose first place in the division because the simple fact the Lions already beat Minnesota and already beat Green Bay and he beat Chicago. So you're already 3-0. So even if we lose this game, we still 3-1 in our division. We split with Green Bay. We still got another game against the Care Bears, and then we got the last game of regular season against the Vikings.
Right, and that's what I mean. DC is the fact that we still got several games in this division that take care of. Even if we are split right now, I still want to try to keep a distance, enough of a distance to where, if we take care of this game. If we slip up or lose one of the other divisional games, we can still be comfortable in a way. But if we not take this game serious and we lose this game, we still got a division game against Chicago and Minnesota at the end of the season where we may have to play that game at the fully before going into the playoffs for one, for positioning, for two, to be able to win a division and try to win out throughout the NFC to get home for the basket because you're seeing what Philadelphia is doing right now.
They took care of Baltimore.
We don't have any opportunities to slip up at any point, in my opinion.
No,
all the way around though. Seeding with, like you said, what Philadelphia is doing, like seeding purposes, we got to win out because losing the division, you slip up, you lose this game, you win one of the other ones, you go from first to what?
Fourth. First to fifth, and we don't.
Now you done lost.
We in the wild card.
Lost home field, and then not only that, we got to stay healthy, bro. Like we can't afford to lose these games simply because we need to be trying to be healthy going into the playoffs to be even ready to go. So we can't mess around with these games, man. But I think the recipe, like shout out to Maurice Coleman, man. He said the recipe is to run the ball. I think that's right on point for a lot of reasons. You get the rest of the defense, we get to lean on the offense. And we get to keep that offense off of the field, which is the strength of their team. We don't got time for Jordan Love coming out with all them weapons and doing all the dance and all the magic and making plays and spreading the ball all over the field. We already thin. You know what I'm saying? We thin in the linebacker core. Our DBs have been in and out of the lineup. We really need to be fully loaded to be prepared for the weapons that Jordan Love have. So one of the ways that we can alleviate that and kind of help that is to just completely keep them off the field. And the only way to do that is to run the ball, kill the clock, own the trenches. That way you don't put so much pressure on our defense, man. These boys is working overtime. You got Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph. They're not even coming off the field at this point. They playing every single
shout out to Jack Campbell. I don't think he gets enough praise for him stepping up from year 1 to year 2, and what he's been doing, being that that middle linebacker, and then going into the role of being the signal caller on the defense, and always being in the right place at the right time. You never see Jack Campbell out of position. And he's rarely missing tackles. He's rarely, getting his name called for penalties. So shout out to Jack Campbell for being that unsung hero. Just because his name is not being called enough or people not recognizing enough, he's quietly taking care of business on his defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, this is
man.
Oh yeah. So definitely, let's go ahead and get to the NFL scores today. As of right now, the Buffalo Bills winning against the 49ers, 14-3.
Christian McCaffrey went down with an injury too.
Yep, he just went down with an injury. He's with another knee injury. San Francisco are done. Their season is done. They're depleted with.
Hey DC, it ain't just their season, bro. That window is closed.
It is.
Yeah,
they gotta pay Brock Purdy, and they need the money to pay him, so they're going to let some of them guys go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The
and
Chargers pull out
that last season.
Yep. The Chargers pull out the victory against the Falcons. Gotta give Chargers some credit, man. Jim Harbaugh, man, he is getting these teams. They playing hard for this team. Justin Herbert he's playing better and better each and every game. I mean, their defense
it helped that Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions too.
Yeah, four interceptions.
That's a good bounce back win though for the Chargers for sure.
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Yeah, absolutely. The Steelers still leading their division. Got the victory, a high scoring game, 44-38 against the Bengals.
And that's important too, because with I'll get into that. Keep going with the scores.
All right, the Vikings. No, you go ahead, Willie. Go ahead.
No, I need you to go because there's another score that I need to see first before I go into my soliloquy. Go ahead.
Okay, the Vikings pull out a 1-point victory against the Cardinals. Man, Kyler Murray, man. No, I disagree with Big A. He was saying earlier, that he think Kyler Murray sucks, but I don't think he sucks. But
I mean, that was some interception he threw in that game too. So he's up and down, man. He can be amazing, and in 1 minute you be like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. So the Colts pull out the victory against the Patriots. I guess they scored off a 2-point conversion. That was a close one. Geno Smith gets a victory against his former team, the Jets, and he was trolling the Jets too. So Geno Smith, he was trolling them. The Commanders take care of the Tennessee Titans, 42-19. Houston Texans of a close victory. Prayers up to Trevor Lawrence, man. Got that huge hit up there. He got a concussion.
That was nasty. That was nasty.
That was a nasty.
He's Superman that hole, didn't he? You
hit him with that Barry Bonds pattern that he had on his elbow, man. That was.
Hey, listen, I came back at the right time. The lineman and me would have broke that dude's leg, bro.
They went after him. They went after him.
Oh yeah.
You're not hitting my quarterback like that, bro. And for people to try to say, "Oh, that wasn't a bad hit" or whatever,
that was a terrible. That was a.
What people got to understand, they talking about, "Oh, he led with his hands." It's not that. It's the impact from him hitting his head on the field, bro. That's what knocked him out, bro.
He hit him with his forearm with that padding on it.
That would do it.
It was the impact. It was the impact from him going back and hitting his head.
Hit him with that flying elbow,
bro.
Right.
WWF style.
Gave him that people's elbow, man.
Yeah, people's elbow.
Still playing in there.
He getting all type of eye gouges at the bottom of that pile, spit in the ear hole, all type of
stuff. Ooh, you nasty, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what linemen do. That's what linemen do.
You don't hit my quarterback like that, bro. You ain't hit my quarterback like that.
No. Where Rams pull out the victory against the.
This is what you got to understand. And a coach would tell you this. Linemen got a green light when they quarterback get hit like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Green
light. Your quarterback at all costs, for sure.
Yep.
Green light,
yep.
Bro.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams out there.
Yeah. The Rams pull out the victory against the Saints. The Rams are still trying to make a playoff push and a division push because that division is terrible. Overtime, Carolina had an opportunity to win in regulation, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sent it to overtime, and they win in overtime by 3 points.
Hey, before you slide there, though, we got to also acknowledge Bryce Young got benched to how he's playing now.
And look, he been yes. Yes.
And if they decide to to build a line and put some weapons behind him,
Thank you.
It could be serviceable. But
Yeah.
y'all traded away,
You
y'all.
got to pull those reins back, though.
Which I agree for all quarterbacks, coming in. I don't care how good you are. I think I feel personally that they need to sit and watch and let the game slow down before they throw them to the wolves.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have nothing built around, with Chicago and the Panthers, they had nothing. I mean, well, Chicago went and got some receivers, but they didn't fix the line.
No, they didn't fix the. They didn't fix the.
Shipped out all they specialists, didn't give the boy nothing to throw to.
Yeah, and that was management. That was management.
It was. Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Now this the one right here. This Eagles and Ravens game, which the Eagles pulled out, and that's significant because when the Steelers went, of course, that kept the Steelers ahead of in that division, in which the Ravens, they're on the cusp right now. Of either getting a wild card or might not even making it to the playoffs. It's possible, but right now, this is important because I think a lot of people's biggest fear right now is the Ravens getting to the Super Bowl. But they got getting through the wild card, they gonna have to go to these other places. Playing over there in Kansas City when it's cold like it is, playing over there in Buffalo where it's cold like it is. They don't fair weather. Even in Pittsburgh, outdoor. I know Baltimore, they're outdoor team as well, but that's still a road game. So that win is significant right now, especially the way Pittsburgh is playing. So that's something to keep an eye on because I know a lot of people's fear was seeing, Lamar Jackson in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, let me say this right quick. You know what? I am so sick of this media. Like I said, Lamar Jackson, he's had a hell of a season. Okay,
Heck of a season, yeah.
He had a hell of a season. But I am so sick and tired of every week Lamar Jackson should be in this MVP conversation. Lamar Jackson this. Lamar Jackson got some bad games this year, man, and people keep overlook that. But we sit up here, and the reason I'm saying this because people want to talk about what Jared Goff had that 5 interception game. People want to write him off.
Yeah.
But there's games that Lamar Jackson had bad losses, and people still put him in this MVP conversation. But we writing off Jared.
Picks, though, bro.
My thing is DC. How is it that you the most valuable player with 5 losses on your record?
Yeah,
but my thing,
that's not value to me. I mean, he got the numbers, but it's not value to me.
But
you can't really say that though, Willie, because Russell Westbrook won MVP, and the thing about it though, it's like the thing we just gotta be honest with each other. Like, listen, Goff gave them they was silently hating on him, silently, bro. You can't throw 5 interceptions as a quarterback, bro. And he gave him the game to hate on him. Now all he got to do is just finish strong, bro.
Yeah, but my thing is though, it's the narrative of Lamar Jackson had a bad game against the Steelers, which they lost. He had a bad second half against the Raiders, was one of the worst teams in football. He just had a bad game today against the Eagles. Like I said, Lamar Jackson is a hell of a player, one of the best quarterbacks out there. But media need to stop with this narrative of we still put him in this conversation, and he has some of these bad losses. Jared Goff only had 1 loss, and they lost to a team. Same with the Eagles had lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Jared Goff, he had that 5 interceptions, but 4 wasn't his fault against Houston, and they still won the game. I'm just like, keep the same energy about what Jared Goff Jared Goff, to me, he gonna win MVP. The only other person I say is contending with him, and I'm sticking to it, is Josh Allen.
Hey, listen. Don't sleep on Saquon. Saquon is on pace to get 21.
Is Saquon break?
And he on pace to break Eric Dickerson rushing record.
I was just about to say that.
That's something to say.
If he does that, you know they don't like to give it to running backs. You know they don't like get MVP to running backs like that.
But
you see Adrian
during this time, a running back going from over 2,000 yards and breaking Eric Dickerson rushing record.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Man, you better get
that's a big deal. Yeah. Oh, he gonna get it if he breaks that record. Yeah, he gonna get it. Absolutely.
And that's another thing that I wanted to add to the Lamar Jackson thing is that he got that mutant over there that's taking some MVP votes away from him as well.
Yeah,
they're not utilizing him right. By the way,
yeah.
No,
they stopped him. I think they're stopping him because the way when Baltimore was winning is when they was cutting them loose, and when they was losing in the beginning, they wasn't running them. When they was running them, they went on the win streak. Now they're losing it. They're trying to build up Lamar Jackson so much that they're going away from what's been winning, and that's muting up the field.
They keep running the boy in a single back at that. Like, dog.
Exactly.
They're going away from what was winning.
In a read option at that. Like, you ain't even just definitively putting the ball in his gut. It's a read option. So now you're allowing the defense to get set and get ready instead of punching them in the mouth. I don't know what to say about that offense. I think they overplayed it. I don't think those two weapons match. Like, Derrick Henry needs a traditional quarterback that can feed him the rock and then go up top when the defense come down. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. But my other thing too is with them, because the AFC, like, everybody like to talk about these superheroes in the AFC, but it's a lot of trash ass teams and a lot of trash ass divisions too. The South is terrible.
Yeah.
The East is terrible. Like, they all terrible. You feel me? So they're gonna get a cakewalk in there, but they're not in fear of missing the playoffs, but they are in fear of being bounced out in the first round, especially if they can't figure that offense out. Now, as far as the Eagles, shout out to Saquon because he getting the fuck off. There ain't no way around that. The boy is getting off. But I'll say this too. What was the Eagles' record last year when they start to fall off?
That was 10-1.
10-1. They 10-2 right now. So y'all look out for that. I'm saying it first because that offense, it's easy to figure that offense out. I don't know why people keep letting them beat up on them like that, but I see them falling off soon, man. And I can't wait to because they keep putting them up there with us, and they not fucking with us.
Let me say this, and I keep eye on close on the Eagles as well. It's a difference from last year to this year. See, last year they had their coordinators wasn't no good, especially you had Fat Patricia over there. Okay, now you got Kellen Morris, our offensive coordinator, and then you got Vic Fangio as our defensive coordinator. Remember, the Eagles started to see before they went on that bye week, they was 2-2, and then they came off that bye week. They've been on the tear ever since because they got healthy. And on top of that, offensively, Jalen Hurts has been playing the better football and like he would before the beginning. Because I know you're not high, Zell. I know you're not high on Jalen Hurts like that.
Okay. I'm glad you chose your words wisely and said better and not good. He's not playing good football. He's playing better football. Sure.
I gave him what they did when they came off that bye week. They said we gonna feed Saquon Barkley.
Barkley.
Yeah,
that's why I'm right there because even tonight he only threw one touchdown. Like, let's not get that. He got he did make space with feet, but Saquon was really kind of held under wraps for most part of that game. Now he had 65 yards until he broke the one for the touchdown.
But I'm gonna say this too: Jalen Hurts has not been turning the ball over heavy like he was in the past.
But that's because these teams haven't decided to take Saquon out of the game. They keep trying to play them boys straight up, and that's what I'm telling you. Now the league has enough footage to understand, like, okay, Fat Patricia's gone. Okay, Kellen wants to lead on Saquon. He's having one of them seasons. At some point, somebody's going to step up and be like, not today. And it's going to provide the formula for everybody else. The rest of the league going to see that too. Okay, let's stack the box and let's make Jalen beat us.
And not only that, too, he did us today without Devontae Smith. I mean, you had AJ Brown. Now, there's a couple games he didn't even have both of their receivers. Didn't have both of their top two receivers. And still be able to get the job.
He's not an elite pocket passer though, and teams haven't forced him to be a pocket passer
but
yet.
I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is this worldly great, like he's up there with Mahomes and all. I'm not saying like that. I know he has some flaws in this game still, but you see a difference from what he was last year. He was turning the ball over a lot compared to this season. He's not turning the ball over as much. Yes, that's for running game has something to do with that. When you got Saquon Barkley in the bag of chips, come on now, you got the best running back in the game. Yes, that does help, but also too, he is taking care of the football. He is making passes.
But you know why, DC? That's all them leak out passes he's passing to Saquon Barkley. That's what he does. Saquon is like fourth in the team in receptions, bro.
But I'm saying, but it's part. But I'm saying Jalen Hurts is taking care of the football.
This is what you got to understand, and this is where I'm with real at, bro. Saquon has 2 receiving touchdowns. AJ Brown has 4. Devontae Smith has 4, bro. A lot of the times when Hurts is getting in trouble, he's just leaking it out to Saquon, bro. And what, like Real said, when somebody decides, which I don't understand, when they say, you're not going to be able to use Saquon in this game, bro. You're going to have to do something because Jalen Hurts, whenever it's all the way back to high school, it's all the way back to college when he got bumped out of Alabama, when he went to Oklahoma.
Talk about it.
Him pass the ball.
Thank you.
He ain't got better than that, bro. He just got a safety blanket and Saquon Barkley. A guy that got 14.
He got better compared to last year. He got better compared to last year, man. Because last year,
who wouldn't get what quarterback doesn't get better when you hand him the best running back in the league?
But
it's less he has to do now. So it's not so much that it's an illusion that he's gotten better, but his game is really simplified. The playbook has been simplified for him to where he's not forced to make that play to hit. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Kellen Moore for recognizing that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know Jalen Hurts is not a great quarterback. I know he's a solid quarterback. I mean, Jalen Hurts don't have to do so. All I'm saying is from what he went through last year, he was turnover heavy last year. That's for another reason had the downfall down the stretch, even going to the playoffs and losing to Tampa Bay. You seen that now you get Saquon Barkley over there that it helps him. You know, not only he don't have to make those shots down the field all the time, even though you got 2 stud weapons on the wide receiver and you got a solid tight end over there. He has the weapons, so Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do way too much, and that's a part of. He's not taking way too many chances. He's not like he was last year, and he's cutting down on those turnovers because he had problems with those turnovers last year compared to this season. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand that, and I can say you gotta give a shout out to Kellen Moore for recognizing that and playing to the script, and that's what a good coordinator is to me. Not trying to implement your system, but implement what works best with your quarterback. And the same thing with Ben Johnson is doing with Jared Goff. He's not asking him to do more than what his strengths is. Play action, get the ball mid up the field. You don't have to do no more extras. We build around what your strength is, and that's to me is a sign of a good coordinator. When you do that, when you don't put your quarterbacks in a bad situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's finish up the scores. The Lions, we pulled out the victory against the Care Bears.
Again.
And the Cowboys actually get their first home win of the season against the lowly New York Football Giants. The Green Bay Packers beat the Dolphins. Dolphins still cannot win in the cold. I mean, that's self-explanatory. We knew that was going to happen. The Dolphins' playoff chances are done. They're not doing anything. That division is terrible.
And once again,
these dang on Chiefs. Boy,
squeaks by another one. Man, that's amazing. That's 14 straight for them in that fashion.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
and the Raiders should have won that game. They got robbed. They got robbed.
Well, they robbed themselves a little bit on that one, man. But A win's a
I'm gonna say
win, I
this,
guess.
and I like how Real always quiet when we talk about the Chiefs. I blame him. He was early on that dang dog Kermit the Frog Mahomes. He had a whole dang on birthday party. Him and his whole family was in Mahomes jersey. Don't let Real slide. He a Mahomes lover, y'all.
That's why I just be letting everybody go.
I gotta give it to him though. He was on Mahomes early.
Texas Tech early.
Early. I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, and Mahomes ain't like this season. I know he ain't been playing his best to his standards. That we used to see Mahomes play to his standards. But the Chiefs keep getting away with these wins. Like I said, the one when they lost to Buffalo caught up to them. The Chiefs can't keep doing that against good teams. Now the Raiders, it was a division game. The Raiders, they beat them last year in Arrowhead on Christmas Day. So they had the opportunity to win the game, and they played well yesterday to them to win the game. And just the Chiefs, man, they just keep getting away with this win. They can't keep getting away with it forever. It's gonna catch up to them again. It's gonna catch. You see what Buffalo did. Buffalo did.
Buffalo beat us every year though in the regular season. That's almost a formality. It's almost like the motivation that we need to go into the postseason. It's they can have it. It's almost, they're regular season champions at Arrowhead, man. It is what it is, bro. We don't care. Like, I don't even think no one ever. We expect it almost. Like we almost expect. Yeah, we almost expect to lose to Buffalo in the regular season. It's almost a formality. But it gets us going. See, let me understand something.
Let me hop in real quick because I'm gonna have to.
Go ahead.
I hate to say this. The Chiefs have become what the Patriots become. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm not knocking it either.
Listen, you beat them in the regular season, you get all this confidence, right? You get all this confidence. And you gotta look what the Chiefs do, man. Listen, one person go down, they on the phone. They bringing people in. Listen, the Chiefs is at the top of the mountain. They don't play for the regular season. It's all postseason for them. And until Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, I don't want to hear nothing about them winning in the regular season.
There you go.
Simple as that.
Yeah, see, the Chiefs have learned the art form of winning. Winning is a skill set. Like, there's a certain way that you think in crunch time. There's a certain way that you operate in crunch time. There's a certain bag of tricks that you preserve just for crunch time. Like, you know how teams practice situational things? I think 75% of Chief practices is crunch time, winning time moments. Just for the simple fact that we know how to get through a game. We just need to keep it close. We're superiorly talented. You have a core group of guys that's been together since the beginning. The Chris Joneses, the Patties, the Kelseys, certain linemen, certain linebackers. A lot of these guys have been there. A lot of the DBs in the secondary, they come in and out, whatever the case may be. But there's a core group over there that just knows how to get it done when it's time. How many games have we watched where it gets to be crunch time and the commentator says, Chris Jones has to make a play right here? Sack, tip ball, a hurry to force an errant throw. Every time you can sense it every time. You know when they're going to deploy certain weapons. How many times do you need a first down and you go to Travis Kelce and it's like, how the fuck did he get open? Even the play to win the Super Bowl where they literally stole the play where they had been running the play where the guy goes in motion all game, just been setting it up. Setting it up. And then you get there in the red zone and it's like, where the fuck did that play come? He's a genius. Andy Reid's a genius. And it's like that been in the back pocket all season because they've been preparing for the crunch time and the winning moments all season. And now if you listen to Ben Johnson, he says, why did everybody ask him, why does the offense flow so well? He said, I think it's because my core guys have just been in the system for you. This is year 4 now. You know, they know what to do. It's the same thing. These guys has been in the system so long that they just know what to do, when to do it. And to everybody else, it's a shock. Like, how do they always do it? You don't understand. Like, they've been doing it for so long. And I keep telling people, we are in the middle of a Jordan run. Okay? They got 3 more coming. I hate to say this. I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. The Lions will meet the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but we won't be coming back as winners. We are in the middle of a Jordan run.
This one I had to disagree with you on that. First of all,
right, go ahead.
And I'm saying this right now, and I said it on my other show on the XP. I said this too. The Lions will play the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. I believe Buffalo. Yeah, the reason why I said the Buffalo Bills is going to be in the Super Bowl. I'm not saying it because they beat Kansas City, a couple weeks ago. It's something that Josh Allen has a chip on his shoulder this year. Buffalo lost a lot of their players, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah,
Buffalo lost their best wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, went to Houston, and you lost your second best wide receiver of Gabe Davis that got traded. And people wrote up Buffalo and say Buffalo may not make the playoffs, or Buffalo, they may be a wild card team because everybody was projecting the Jets, to win this division, to be in the Super Bowl because of Aaron Rodgers this third. So you see a dynamic with this team. When you see a team of Buffalo, yes, they still got Von Miller over there, but he's the old Von Miller. But he can be
Von Miller
in moments. But you see a team that's playing hard they like to win. People, they're going out there. They got a bunch of young guys on this team. They learn the game on the fly. Josh Allen is balling his ass off. He's making a case for the win MVP. I'm telling you, Buffalo, it's like we tired of hearing Kansas City being a team that's going to win the AFC. We tired of hearing Baltimore is still going to be around. Yes, I know they lost to Baltimore in the regular season early, but Buffalo has the opportunity. This is their best shot, the opportunity to take the AFC, to throw in the Kansas City Chiefs, and play the Super Bowl against the Detroit Lions. Would it be a hell of a matchup with Josh Allen and Jared Goff in the Super Bowl? Top two MVP candidates.
We're gonna need a healthy defense. We're gonna need a healthy defense. Go ahead,
and DC, actions speak louder than words, my brother. So we gotta put that, what you're saying into action to see if that's gonna be in fruition now. Because until then, it's Kansas City until I see otherwise. So I'm gonna be on.
And just to be clear, did you say Buffalo over Detroit or Detroit over Buffalo?
I said Detroit Lions going to win.
Okay, I said what about the regular season game?
Well, we're going to wait and see that one.
I say this. I say this. The Lions can win that game, but I won't be surprised they lose to Buffalo in that game.
Okay.
I project that's in.
I think no one would be surprised on that one. Like Buffalo is one of the
Buffalo's legit. If the Lions lose another game, I would say to be the Buffalo.
So does Buffalo catch KC, or do they go in to KC to get to the Super Bowl?
Buffalo?
I think honestly it's gonna go through KC. Yeah. Right now, I don't see KC losing enough. Even with these close games, where I feel like it's going the AFC Championship is going to go through Kansas City.
I'm gonna tell you this: Kansas City better not lose another game and end up in regular season be tied up with Buffalo, because Buffalo has the head-to-head matchup against Kansas City. True. So now the road can goes to Buffalo.
That's
the road can. Yeah, that's a tough road.
They're gonna have.
I'm gonna tell you something though, man. There's one thing you gotta add into this, man. Like you have to know this, right? And the golfer would the golfer would, like what Real was saying, man. There's a certain know-how to win, right? And like you said Buffalo, right? You say They lost this person. They lost this person. Kansas
Let's talk
City
about it.
stayed losing people. They stay losing people. They you got to think about it. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had his. If you look from the receivers he started with at the beginning of the year to what he has now, and you got to understand it's a certain thing of when this team hasn't. Like I say, I'm not for Kansas City. They haven't played their best ball, and nobody really beat them, bro.
Well, no, their defense
But
has.
hold on. No,
That's even scarier, bro. That's even
That's what
scarier.
I said. You got to understand this, man. And this is why I said when you look at how them Patriot teams was built, right? Like even when you look at Mahomes' contract, the way he's getting paid on the back end is allowing them to be able to sign people. I.e., who did that?
It's an organizational formula. It's bigger than the field, bro.
So what you gotta look at this, man. One thing you gotta look at this, bro. And I'm gonna tell you something nobody ain't really paying attention to. Wait till that DeAndre Hopkins, wait till that whole thing with that melting pot with Kelsey and all of that in the playoffs, bro. That's gonna be something nasty.
I'm glad he just said that because the one thing that Josh Allen specifically gets a lot of credit for is that he's doing a lot with less. But this is the problem. Those less motherfuckers, they never been there before. They're not gonna know what to do in them moments. I just told you. We spent 70% of practices focusing on those moments. We got enough talent to stay in any game. But back to what Big A said, we haven't played our best ball, and we are squeaking by. But you know what's happening? They're gelling. Those new pieces are figuring out ways how Mahomes like it when he like it. No diddy. You feel me? They're learning to be in the right spots. They're learning timing. They're not dealing with first year, second year players. You dealing with perennial Pro Bowlers, bro. That's Juju Smith-Schuster, like the real Juju. That's D-Hop, like the real D-Hop. They done even brought back Kareem Hunt after all his bullshit, and then brought him back. He's still producing. You got Pacheco back. You know, come on, man. I'm trying to tell you. And the scariest part about the whole thing is the defense has been carrying them.
Yes, they have. That's true.
Get Mahomes to the promised land, and he gonna get you through the door. Just drop me off in front of the crib. I'm gonna get us in that bitch.
I'm gonna read all Kansas City's remaining schedule. Okay, so they took care. They beat the Raiders. So they got the Chargers coming up next, and they at home. Kansas City at home. Now they already beat the Chargers. Yeah. The Chargers they lost to them the first time. It was a very close game. You got the Browns. You should take care of the Browns. You got the Texans. The Texans not the same team, even though they'll be winning their division. You got the Steelers at Pittsburgh. That's a tough one. And you got at Denver. That's a tough one too, because Denver is playing good ball, and Denver should have beat Kansas City. That block.
All these teams should have beat Kansas City.
But you only get one shot.
There you go.
Opportunity. You hear me?
Yeah. So if I see another loss to Kansas City, it's either between the Steelers or the Broncos.
I can see the Steelers taking that game just to, keep their dominance going and to keep the Ravens off their ass. They got a little bit of separation now. They would have 3 losses and Baltimore at 5. They got a little room to breathe. And that all that means is Baltimore lose one more game, they might be taking them last 2 games off.
That's possible.
Because Buffalo got it. Now this is Buffalo remaining schedule. They got the Rams at LA. They got the Lions. They got 2 tough ones. They got the Patriots after that. They got the Jets after that, and they got the Patriots again. So Bills has a little more of an easier schedule than Kansas City because they got the Patriots twice. So.
Listen, time will tell now. It's getting down to the meat of the matter. Now we're gonna be looking forward to, watching how this transpires, and we're gonna see once these playoffs come around. With that being said, listen, we had a great show today, fellas. Great show. I'm glad we was able to make it out today, and have a great, fun weekend. Listen, I want to make sure I post this information in regards to our second annual. This is the Cooley Football Alumni Association's second annual coat drive. It does start this given Tuesday, in which we will be taking donations for coats. Donations of $25 will purchase one coat. So we're asking if you could possibly donate $25. But if you're not able to do $25, any donation would be helpful towards the cause and keeping the kids warm this upcoming winter season. You already see the weather is getting cold, so we really want to get ramped up and get this out there. Go ahead, post up, lead this up for a minute. This is the Cash App that you can send your donations to. I'm going to have this posted up on all our social media platforms as well as the flyer. We're also asking for sponsors as well. So if you want to be a sponsor, part of this coat drive, you can list the information on who you can call, and they advise you on what it takes to be a sponsor. It's going to add you to the, of course, to the flyers. Looking for sponsorship. We're looking for donations. Anything that will help in regards to this coat drive. We're trying to make this a big successful, man. Get these coats on these kids because they need it. It also helps the kids, also help the parents that's in need as well. So it's really appreciated that, you guys send a donation. Like I said, that is the Cash App. If you guys on here now, you can go ahead and send it now. That's no problem, but it is open throughout the week. And if you follow us on all our social media platforms, we're going to have this posted all week for the donation drive.
Lead it up for a second, bro. That's that Cash App right there. You can screenshot it if you need to do it later. Screenshot it. I want to challenge all entrepreneurs, professionals, anybody that just got love for the city and love for our next generation coming up. Like a lot of times we see stuff like this and pass it by. We keep going on about our day, but you got to understand it's kids out there that really need these coats. They need a lot more than coats, but if we can at least start there with keeping them warm and letting them know that, that it's people out here that love them and care for them and want to see them do good and be successful and be the best they can be. But we got to be able to put our money where our mouth is. We can't just be talking about it. So screenshot that Cash App. And on behalf of Culture Sports Club, I want to announce that we're going to make a nice hefty donation. I don't want to put we put a number. Let's just start with 300. Get it going.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
On behalf of Culture Sports Club. And then we're gonna probably do some more with on behalf of Culture Detroit and Culture Downtown, because we're gonna keep this thing going. But I want to challenge anybody out there, if you feel like you got blessed this year and this year been a blessing to you, bless somebody else, man, especially the kids, because they the future, man.
Yeah,
most definitely, and that's going to be definitely appreciated, man. So like my brother said, listen, if you feeling blessed, man, bless those that bless you, and you're gonna get blessed yourself. So we
bless
definitely
the blesser.
There you go. And we definitely appreciate it, man. And I know the families of these children are going to appreciate it as well. So I'm going to leave this up there while we still do our final thoughts. So you guys can screenshot that Cash App, make a donation. Also, I will say this as well. I did talk with my brothers here at Dynasty Sport Network as well. We also going to make our sponsorship donation as well, collaborating together to make sure that we input as well. So, we're asking for sponsors. I'm going to put it out there. $150 donation. That's 6 coats. That's 6 coats.
Light. That's light.
So we got 300 from Culture Sports Club, and we're gonna have another 150 coming from Dynasty Sports Network to go ahead. That's 450 that's gonna be coming this way this week towards getting coats on these children. And it's and I can't say no more about it. It's a blessing to be able to, like I said, this is our second annual. The first one was very successful. I'm just thankful to be a part of this, and our intent is for this to grow substantially over the years. So if you guys want to be a blessing, please make sure that you hit that Cash App, send that blessing over so we can go ahead and make this a huge success like we do last year and be even bigger this year.
And I just kind of want to piggyback off that, right? Whenever you have an opportunity, man, to be a blessing to somebody, man, you gotta, stand tall on that, man. Like $25 to give a kid a coat, man. You think about that, man. You can spend that on lunch. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you could just sacrifice, something of your own, man, to just cut out a vice for a day or something,
Yeah.
and be able to bless a kid, man, because when you think about it, man, like when you see some of those things, man, and you see these little ones, man, who don't ask to be here. They don't ask to be in the situations that they in.
Yeah.
None of that. And you just see what a little kid lights up just because they know they're gonna have a coat for the winter time. Like that type of stuff does something for the soul. And honestly, not to get all biblical, but that's what God blesses us to be here for. We're not
Bless
here
the
to
blesser.
Yes.
store.
Yep.
We're not here to store stuff on earth, man. You don't bless us and put us in certain positions to, keep things and look at things and stuff like that. We're here to bless others.
Yeah.
Literally,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
That's it.
Most definitely agreed upon that. So, like I said, be a blessing. Go ahead and paste that, send it out to your peoples, your family, your friends, so that they can be able to contribute to it. And it's like I said, it's always going to be helpful. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into some final thoughts, man. So, I'm starting with you, DC.
Final thoughts, man. Like I said, congratulations to the University of Michigan, man. Beat them Ohio State suck ass as they should. And like I said, you gotta give credit to Big A because he called out the game plan what it should be done. And they did it. It was ugly, but offensively, but defensively, Wink Martindale deserved the goddamn game ball. He deserved the game ball. He coached his life on his defense. He coached his life. That was the best defense they played all year long. To hold them suck eyes to 10 points in their home field, that toilet bowl stadium they have, holding the 10 points, that was huge. And they was so-called the number 2 team in the country. Oh, they one of the best teams in the country. Nobody can't beat them on all that. You got beat down. You got beat down in your own stadium, your own building, in front of your own fans. Plain and simple. You got your ass whooped. You lost, and this is the y'all lost to Michigan. This Michigan team was not even that good. And y'all lost to them. So that's even an indictment how y'all so-called supposed to be this best team in the country and one of the best teams in the Big Ten. So gotta give the U of M credit. Michigan State, you got a lot of work to do. Football program, you got a lot of work to do. Plain and simple, you got a lot of work to do. Johnson Smith, you got to do better. You got to recruit. You got to do something. You got to help Aiden Childs out. Please, you got to help him out.
Yep, brother.
Lions got a big game coming up. This is a huge game to go 2-0 against Green Bay. Not only that, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. It's right on your tail. You got Minnesota's right on your tail. You got to take this division, go 4-0 in our division, put a stranglehold because you got enough tougher game coming up. After that, on the 15th, against the Buffalo Bills, take care of business against Green Bay. It's going to be a close game, but I expect the Lions to win this game. So, indeed. Lions, take care of it. That's all I have to say.
That's what's up. Real, man, go ahead with your final thoughts, brother.
Final thoughts, man. 2 things, man. Y'all get off of Waymo's Johnson, okay? And I ain't talking Ben, okay? The mother freaker, the same idiot, and y'all jumped down his throat when he did the dumb shit on the Hail Mary. The same idiot. That's the same bum that tripped my dog. All right? Now, I'm not saying that he was justified, and I'm not letting Waymo off the hook either because he got to be smarter, especially coming down the stretch and understand that teams are going to be doing any and everything they could do to throw us off, okay? We are on our run. We are in the mix. We deep in our bag. We're in a duffel bag right now, all right? So, Waymo, I need you to be smart, my boy. Don't let these dudes trick you off the streets. You got enough people already trying to trick you off the streets. You got to be smart. Don't add fuel to the fire. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep progressing. The one thing I love about Waymo is the more people talk, the harder my boy come. No titty. All right? The better he plays. So use this as fuel and motivation. Listen to the chatter. You know, I know he don't listen to it, but it gets to him it gets to him like via other people, not gets to him like it gets under his skin. Like he not even built like that. People been talking crazy his whole life, but we got a team. You got a team that has to be accounted for. You're responsible for your teammates, and you can't put your teammates in tough situations. Because I feel like that play helped turn that game, and it was a part of the reason why we was in what we was in the last couple minutes of that game. So you got to be smarter, Waymo. But I got your back. You know we rocking with you, right or wrong. But when you're wrong,
or indifferent.
Or indifferent, but we gonna tell you about it because I'm not about to sit around and watch you be wrong. We got too much love for you to let you fall by the wayside. So we gonna get on your ass like a tight ass pair of Wranglers in the middle of the Arizona desert. It is what it is. Secondly, my Pistons is learning how to win in crunch time. Okay, Ivy got him a game winner. K had him a couple game winners earlier in the season. We figuring out how to do this winning thing when it's time to do this winning thing. The only issue is we haven't been healthy. So, Kate, rest up, rest your booty bone. We know your booty bone hurt right now, my boy. Rest your booty bone. Stay off your feet as much as you can. Keep getting stronger. Keep building. Shout out to Jaden Ivey. He's on a mission right now. I love the way he's playing right now. Y'all just gotta stay together. You know, let this thing take its course. It's a long season. The East is terrible. We had a blunder the other night. Me and Big Willie was in the building. Was that last night? Damn, these days.
That was last night, yeah.
Last night we was in the building. You know, we put up a clunker, but I blame that on availability.
That was jet lag.
Jet lag, availability, and then just rotation too. That rotation was just terrible. Like Coach couldn't get a good cohesive five to play together. So, you know, I'm going to blame that on a little bit of everything. Sometimes it just get like that. And like bro said too, a little bit of a hangover too from the what's they calling it? The what cup? What they calling it?
The NBA Cup. The
NBA Cup. A little bit of a hangover. You know, we went into Indiana and we did what we had to do. We came home. It's a lot going on. And we was down our best players. So I'm gonna give y'all a pass on that because I know when we have our full complement, you know, guys is balling. We looked up in the third quarter, Jalen Duren had 4 points and 0 rebounds. I'm like, how is that even possible? You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no shot blockers in the game, but we wasn't attacking the rim. I just feel like it was just off, man. It was just off in the building from beginning to end. So when we get our full complement together, let's focus on cohesion and just scrapping, bro, every night, man. So shout out my Pistons. We still own to something. We just gotta stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. Listen, you know, we're at a great stretch right now as far as like sports fans in the city. You know, with the Lions being on the trajectory that they're on, is something that we have never seen ever since, you know, ever as far as like the Detroit goes. And I'm hoping that we still carry that on throughout this season. This has the makings to be one of these most special seasons that we ever get to witness. So I'm praying that still stays the course. I'm just overly enjoyed just based off the fact of the outcome. I know it wasn't a season that we thought we was going to have, and when the season went on, we knew it was a lost season. But once again, shout out to my Michigan Wolverines for pulling off that upset victory yesterday. That just makes everything that they went through this season worthwhile. They didn't have the season that, you know, that they wanted. It you know, it was a lot that they had to overcome and get through coaching wise, player wise. But to end it on that note and to keep Ohio State frustrated for another season of them not having to beat the Michigan Wolverines, and they're now known as the team underneath. I listen. That's my saying. I'm gonna trademark it. That's the team underneath right now until they decide that they want to get in the ring with us and win a game. Until then, that's what they're going to be. Once again, I want to make sure that I put out there as far as the coat drive. Once again, it's the second annual coat drive. This is the Coulee Football Alumni Association coat drive. We're going to post this all week in regards to our social media platforms. My bro already laid down the challenges for the businesses. This is the Cash App. I will have that posted as well. So if you know any businesses, if you want to be a part of this, please, send your donations. We definitely appreciate it. And once again, we're going to show what it is that we're doing in regards to these. This is not going to some, this is not a scheme. We're not here to play no games. So I would definitely keep y'all up to date on what's going on. I'm gonna show you exactly what's going on once we do this. Once we do these deliveries for these coats to these kids, and let you guys see the smiles on these kids' faces, because it's definitely a blessing, man. You listen. I'm so excited to be a part of this thing. It's just, it's that's just the type of people that we are, and as men, especially as Black men, to be able to do this for our community is a plus. We don't get enough credit in the media amongst everybody. They think that we're not out here wanting to take care of our family and our friends and our community. This is one. So anybody say that, hey, we're not out there. Here, listen, let me show you what we're doing. This was not something that someone had to force us to do. No, this is something that we want to do and want to make it big. So we appreciate everyone who wants to contribute to show. Listen, we got strong Black men that wants to see their community succeed and get the help that they need. And with that being said, listen, we had another great show today, fellas. It's getting late. I know everybody got to get up for work in the morning, and it's getting cold. So you gotta get yourself some fare. So we're gonna go ahead and end this show. Once again, I want to say thank you guys for rocking with us this whole time. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. Dynasty Sports Network. We out.
Go Lions.
Yes, sir.
Go Lions.